What is going on, guys and gals? My name is Ben Kirsch. I'm here in the Back Bay Drumming Studios, and today I want to show you one concept that will totally change your drumming. Okay, so a common problem that I see in intermediate students is they'll tend to think in terms of, these are my 16th note chops, these are my sextuplet chops, these are the chops I like to play in a rock song at like 140 BPM. And when you look at really advanced players, they don't tend to think like that. They just usually tend to think in terms of patterns that they can play in any subdivision, in any tempo. So what we're going to look at today is we're going to look at patterns that we can apply to both 16th notes and sextuplets. All right, and before we get started, please check out the description for a link to all the sheet music that we're using. So let's start out with an easy one first. Okay, so we're going to look at the 6-stroke roll. Now, if you don't know a 6-stroke roll, it's just right, left, left, right, right, left, right. Right, left, left, right, right, left, right. Now, there's a ton of ways of using a 6-stroke roll on the drum set. And actually, the traditional way of playing it is like this. There's a lot of really cool old school kind of chops that you can use with that approach. The more modern way of playing it is with either sextuplets or triplets, and they're all even, like. So that's the more modern approach to playing a 6-stroke roll. So let's take that slow and play that in triplets in a groove. So what if we take the 6-stroke roll and we apply it to 16th notes or 32nd notes? We end up with a 6-note phrase in a different subdivision. So if we make that phrase longer, we end up with one of my favorite phrases to play, and that's 4 6-stroke rolls followed by 2 paradiddles. All right, so number 2, let's keep going with the 6-stroke roll idea, and now we're going to play one of my favorite linear versions of a 6-stroke roll. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of the hands and take them out and replace them with 2 kick drums. So instead of playing, now we're going to play. So unfortunately my camera stopped recording during the explanation of this part. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking that 6-stroke roll linear chop, I'm taking it and doing it in 16th notes, playing it for 1 bar and then playing it for 2 bars. And then it also missed the point where I just kind of like slowed it down. So I'm just going to take the video and I'm going to play it at like half speed or 3/4 speed or something like that. So yeah. Okay, so the next chop we're going to look at is a 5-note grouping, and it's like this. And a lot of times I like to add the kick drums on those accented right hands. Alright, so first let's use it in 16th notes in a pattern. So that's a cool chop that you can use in 16th notes. Now what happens if we put that into 6 tuplets? So I'm going to slow it back down, and let's do that. Now, as you're seeing, the orchestration that I'm using is kind of changing a little bit, just because I don't really think the same orchestration sounds as nice in the sextuplet version. We can try that though. All right, so for number 4, I'm going to show you one of the first linear licks that I ever really got good at. And I just can't for the life of me remember who I saw do this first. It was someone on Instagram or YouTube, and I just don't remember. But here it is. Here we go. Okay, so this is a lick that has it has 3 different parts to it, but the linear part is 2 parts. So we got the first part. And then the second part. All right, let me play that in a groove. So I love playing that lick. For whatever reason, it's just like super satisfying for me to play that. All right, so let's do it a little faster. Pretty cool lick, right? Now what happens if we put that into 32nd notes or 16th notes? Put it back into a 4 grid. So now we have a grouping of 9 and 16th notes. And that's pretty cool. I mean, it's not really something that you see too often. You see that a lot in sextuplets or triplets with groupings of 9, but it's not as common with 16th notes. And it has a very, like, almost over the bar line sound. And if you keep it going, so let's take that concept of going over the bar line and go a little faster with this. right, so my homework to you is to take patterns that you like to play in whatever subdivision and apply it to the other subdivision. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some notation paper and a pencil, or get some notation software, write down a pattern that you like to play in whatever subdivision. So say you take a pattern that you like to play in 16th notes. Write it down, and then write it down again in the other subdivision. So if it's 16th notes, do it in sextuplets. If it's sextuplets, do it in 16th notes. And so what you'll find is you can get a lot more mileage out of licks that you already know. And that's the best thing to me about this concept, is that you're not having to learn a whole bunch of new licks. I mean, it's always good to do that. It's always good to always be learning new things. But a lot of times I'll see in my students that they'll think they need to learn more chops to sound better, whereas they really just need to develop the ideas that they already know. And that's what you can do with this concept. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you were new to the channel, please subscribe, turn on notifications, like, and comment, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel grow. If you will, please check out my website, backbaydrumming.com. And if you're at all interested in taking lessons with me, shoot me an email at backbaydrumming@gmail.com.